Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a video requested by Salesforce CRM admins to use a Google spreadsheet to create a account, relate a contact to the account, and a opportunity as well. So here is my Google spreadsheet, and it's really simple. It's just account name, contact first name, contact last name, email, opportunity name, opportunity stage, and the close date. One thing you will notice about the close date is it is written in the format that Salesforce expects, so it's 2015-04-14. One thing you will definitely need to know is when you are looking at the format, make sure that you look at your format number and make sure it says plain text. Otherwise, it will try and convert it to the hash separated values. So that is just one quick note. Now let's go to SyncFrog and let's map this stuff over. So we're going to click on Create New Data Leap, and I'm going to say Google Spreadsheet, and obviously we're going to Salesforce. I'm going to select my credentials, and then I'm going to select the spreadsheet I've been using, which is the account, contact, and create. I'm going to use incremental or all rows. We're going to say all rows, but going forward, if this was something I was syncing all the time, I would say incremental. That way it only grabs the newly added values. And we'll click on next and tell it what Salesforce org I'm using. In this case, it's only a developer account, and we'll click on next here. We'll give it a name. We'll say account, contact, and op, and we'll click on create. Excellent. And we'll go to our mapping panel. So the first thing we want to create inside of our mapping panel is that account. So in our Salesforce drop-down here, our very first value is account. We're going to click on Add New Section. And I want to be creating these as new accounts, and all of our required questions are there. You can also use this to update the existing record, update existing, or create new, or even just find a account. In this case, we're just creating a new one. And it's really simple. Since we just have account name, I'm going to use our account name from our spreadsheet. So we have account name to account name. Next, I want to associate a contact to that. So our next mapping panel here is going to be contact. So go ahead and hit that on our list and click on Add New Section. So we are creating this person as a new contact as well, and we have our Salesforce contact on here. We have our last name field, and in our spreadsheet, we will just say last name, and we will click on this auto map fields. And that's pretty much filled out the rest of our mapping for us. One thing you will notice though is our account name here to account ID. So this would try and provide the canonical account name instead of the ID value that Salesforce would expect. So the reason why we did our account first is so we can reference it throughout our mapping. So we're going to click on our drop down and we'll say reference one account. That will actually grab our account ID value from our first mapping panel and use it in our second mapping panel. Awesome. So let's go on to our opportunity now. So we want to create a new opportunity to add to this, and we'll click on Add New Section. So now we're on our opportunity and our required fields have been made. So we have a close date, and I will have that go to our close date field. And we have our name field going to our opportunity name. And then we have our stage, and we actually have our stage in our mapping. We also want to map over, how about the lead source? But we want it to be the same as everybody else. So we will say lead source in our pick list value. And one of those lead sources is web, so I'm going to use a fixed value so it comes across the same each time. So that will automatically provide that. Now we also want to tie this opportunity to the account, so I'm also going to click on that map new fields, and in our drop down, our very first one is our account ID reference, and again we're going to use our reference from our earlier mapping in our account. Excellent. And we will go ahead and save that. That's going to bring us back to our synchronized screen, and we're going to go ahead and click on activate. This will bring up our either run now or schedule. You can create a schedule if you have that version of SyncFrog. Now we'll click on Run Now, and that's going to grab our data from our Google spreadsheet. So as it's going through, it's going to grab those 2 records that we have, and it says we have our 2 records have been processed. Excellent. So we can go ahead and click on OK. Now inside of Salesforce, I have our accounts, and we'll say new this week, and I'm just going to go ahead and refresh that. We should have our 2 new account names. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Thundercloud here, and Thundercloud should have a new contact, and here is Thor himself, and also our opportunity, which is already provided for us. So we have our stage, which is our prospecting, and our date field that is nice and filled out. Now this is a very simple example using this, but it could be as complex as you need. Thank you and have a great day.